I want to say that Dr. Singoe, the PS, is indeed qualified to hold that office, Mr. Speaker. He was approved by the National Assembly and is in that office, Mr. Speaker, by virtue of that approval. The only challenge, Mr. Speaker, which I see here is he was trying to clarify the true position as to whether Somaliland as an embassy in Kenya, and Mr. Speaker, my only challenge, and I want to agree with members that it is important, Mr. Speaker, that we stick to the proper communication channels that we have, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you made a statement in your office as our Speaker, having received the delegation from Somaliland, and you had some very fruitful discussions, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, what the best could have done, Mr. Speaker, was to reach out to you and clarify areas that he thinks, Mr. Speaker, was not clear as were not correct in your statement. Mr. Speaker, this is the way to go. And nobody should in this House, Mr. Speaker, give the impression that the PS is unqualified, did the wrong thing by perhaps raising issues on your statement. The only complaint, Mr. Speaker, and I want to say this as the chair of the Committee of Foreign Relations and Defense, is that it is only important that the established communication systems between departments of government, our institutions, Mr. Speaker, should be pursued and followed. The PS could have been able to, Mr. Speaker, either to write to you or call you. And Mr. Speaker, I was also concerned myself, and I was able to reach out to the PS, and I was able to share with him my concern that perhaps would have been better for him, Mr. Speaker, to reach out to you and clarify whatever was not clear or correct in terms of our relationship between Kenya as a country and Somaliland. Mr. Speaker, nobody should in any way demean the office, Mr. Speaker, of the Senate and that of the Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the constitutional framework, the establishment of Parliament and that of the Executive, Mr. Speaker, these institutions, Mr. Speaker, of governance, Parliament, Executive, Judiciary, Mr. Speaker, are independent. And Mr. Speaker, it is only that we have to coordinate issues together on our governance. And so, Mr. Speaker, we should not allow any impression in the public that there is conflict, there is misunderstanding, there is miscommunication between your office, Mr. Speaker, and Minister of Foreign Affairs. Mr. Speaker, I want to assure the House that my committee, again, Mr. Speaker, apart from the issue of Morocco, we are going also to engage the ministry. Because, Mr. Speaker, we must read from the same script as a House, especially on matters diplomacy between us and our neighbors and the countries in our region, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, I want to assure members that I have listened very keenly to your concerns. And Mr. Speaker, shortly we are going to invite the ministry, sit with them, and raise your concerns and come back to the House, Mr. Speaker, to give you the assurance that we should be able to hold this office of the Speaker of Senate and the institution of Senate, Mr. Speaker, with the respect required. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, we will move to statements pursuant to Standing Order 56-1B. Honorable Senators, under our standing orders, we are only allowed 30 minutes. We have gone beyond 1 hour. I have 11 chairpersons queuing to make their statement. So we will move to the Chairperson Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries. Kindly proceed to make your statement. Yeah, but before that, I had Senator Tabitha had approached me. He had a very urgent keroche. So proceed to read your two statements, Senator, and thereafter we will move to the statements pursuant to 56(1)(b).
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53(1) to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on the closure of Nakuru War Memorial Hospital and transfer of patients to the Nakuru Provincial General Hospital. In the statement, the committee should inform the Senate about the reasons behind the nighttime transfer of patients from the Nakuru War Memorial Hospital to the Nakuru Provincial General Hospital on 28 October 2023, considering that some patients were on life support and their constitutional right to privacy and access to quality health care as outlined as the Bill of Rights were violated. Explain the reason for the prolonged closure of the Nakuru War Memorial Hospital and the control of the premises by the county security officials, despite a court order number 36 of 23, stopping the county government of Nakuru from taking over the management of the hospital pending the determination of the dispute on the management of the hospital, and state plans, if any, by the county government to compensate the hospital for losses incurred during the forceful closure and illegal occupation of its premises. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, the second statement. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53(1) to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on the land ownership over the Nakuru War Memorial Hospital in Nakuru County. In the statement, the committee should explain why the county government of Nakuru has been frustrating the proprietor of the hospital whose lease was extended by 50 years via certificate of lease number Nakuru Municipality Block 11/107 issued on 1st March 2021 and where the hospital is located. Elucidate on the motives behind the county government attempt to forcefully take over the hospital despite the owner holding a valid title deed and a certificate of lease issued by the government, and shed light on the commitment by the county government to uphold private land rights for landowners in accordance with Article 64 A, B, and C of the Constitution, which generates land ownership under freehold and leasehold tenures. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Senator Tabitha. The chairperson, Standing Committee on Agriculture, was called out before. Is he around? Okay. Chair, national question.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I have a statement in relation to the activities of Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity, and Regional Integration. Pursuant to Standing Order 56(1)(b) for the period from 1st September 2023 to 30th November 2023. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 56(1)(b) of the Senate Standing Orders to make a statement relating to activities of Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity, and Regional Integration for the period from 1st September 2023 to 5th December 2023. Number two, Mr. Speaker, sir, the Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity, and regional integration is established under Standing Order 2281 of the Senate Standing Orders and is mandated to consider all matters related to the pursuit of national and inter-community cohesion, the equalization of opportunities, and improvement in the quality of life and status of all persons. Regional integration, the East African Legislative Assembly, and the Pan-African Parliament. Number 3, Honorable Speaker, during the period under review, the committee held a total of 28 sittings and deliberated on 5 statements and 1 legislative proposal. The committee also conducted an inquiry on gender and people with disability representation in various national and county public institutions. Number 4, Honorable Speaker, furthermore, the committee participated in Peace Week conference in Geneva, Switzerland, held a work plan retreat in Naivasha, Nakuru County, and conducted a county visit to Marsabit County. Statements, Mr. Speaker, sir, 3 statements were ongoing from various reporting periods, and 2 statements were sought for the committee during the current period, and committee considered and concluded 2 and is currently considering the remaining 3 to be concluded before the recess. Number 6, Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee is pursuing responses on the following statements. A, statement sought by Senator Mwenda Gataya Mofaya, MP, on the classification of Igamba Ngombe sub-county in Tharaka Nithi County as arid and semi-arid area, ASAL. B, statement sought by Senator Godfrey Asotsi, MP, on recruitment in public service and representation of Kenya's diversity. C, statement sought by Senator Raphael Chimera, MP, regarding the adherence to principle of meritocracy, transparency, fairness, and equal opportunity in recruitment at Competition Authority of Kenya, particularly in recruitment of the Director General of the authority. Mr. Speaker, the committee considered responses for statements and will conclude the report soon after appearance of stakeholders who have already been invited by the committee. Number 7, Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee held a joint sitting with the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations, Standing Committee on Land Affairs and Human Rights on 14 September 2023, with the National Steering Committee on Peace Building and Conflict Management to deliberate on the review of Kenya peace building architecture. Number 8, Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee also conducted a work plan retreat to prioritize legislative business and review its work plan. Further, the committee considered proposed amendments by the National Cohesion and Integration Commission, NCIC, on the NCIC Act legislative proposal for the County Youth Council Bill. Number 9, Mr. Speaker, sir, in conclusion, the committee is scheduled to carry out the following key activities in this session. A, consider the legislative proposal for the County Youth Council Bill with a view of enacting it into law. B, undertake a retreat with the National Cohesion and Integration Commission to consider their proposed amendment to NCIC Act. C, to undertake an inquiry on the state of access to public facilities by persons with disability in Kenya. Number 10, Mr. Speaker, sir, going forward, the committee intends to conclude pending legislative business that is before it within this quarter, particularly such business as may be subject to timelines provided under the standing orders or any other law. Number 11, Mr. Speaker, sir, in conclusion, I wish to thank your office and that of the Clerk of the Senate for the continuous support accorded to the committee in undertaking its work. And lastly, I thank the members of the committee for their commitment, and diligence in their contribution to the great achievements of the committee during the period under review. I thank you, Honorable Speaker, Senator Mohamed Chute, Chairperson, Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity, and Regional Integration. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, once again.
Next is the Chair, Justice, Legal Affairs, and Human Rights Committee. And Chair, as you know, there is a standing order on these statements from committees is just allocated 10 minutes. So if you can be able to... sorry, Chairman, national question. Kindly table your statement for records purpose. Then proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I will try to limit to the extent of the timeline that you have indicated. And Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 56(1)B of the Senate Standing Orders to make a statement relating to the activities of the Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs, and Human Rights for the months of July to December 2023. Honorable Speaker, during the period under reference, the committee held 42 sittings at which considered various legislative business as set out below. A. Legislative proposals. Honorable Speaker, the committee conducted pre-publication scrutiny on 4 legislative proposals which were referred to the committee pursuant to Standing Order 133A of the Senate Standing Orders, and these include the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2023, sponsored by Senator Raphael Chimera, the County Civic Education Bill 2023, sponsored by Senator Esther Okenyuri, the Whistleblower Protection Bill 2023, sponsored by Senator Gloria Orwoba, and the County Government State Officers Removal from Office Procedure Bill, sponsored by Senator Thangwa. The committee, Honorable Speaker, conducted and considered of the first 3 proposals and submitted its comment to the Right Honorable Speaker of the Senate. The consideration of the legislative proposal by Senator Thangwa, MP, is an active engagement before the committee. Honorable Speaker, the committee considered 2 bills which were committed to the committee, and those are the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 15 of 2023, sponsored by Senator Beth Siengo, and the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Amendment Bill 2023, Senate Bills number 37 of 2023, sponsored by Senator Osotsi. The committee, Honorable Speaker, considered and concluded its consideration of the 2 bills and tabled the report to the floor of this House. On statements, Honorable Speaker, the committee considered 3 statements during this reporting period, and these are statements by Senator Mohamed Chute on the status of inquiries by EACC, that's Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, in the Asal counties of Wajir, Mandera, Marsabit, and Samburu. Statement by Senator Mohamed Said Chute as well on the status of court construction projects in the Republic of Kenya. And lastly, statement by Senator Hamida Kibwana on gender-based violence incidents in the Republic of Kenya within the political space in Kenya. The committee, Honorable Speaker, considered the first statement. In the case of the other 2, we have invited the responses from key stakeholders and will subsequently schedule meetings to consider the statements and report our responses thereon. The petitions, Honorable Speaker, during this period were 5, and all the 5 we have tabled a report. This is the petition by Zipporah Seronei regarding mistreatment, harassment, property laws, and human rights violations meted on the family of the late Honorable Jean-Marie Seronei. Petition by Taraticio Kawe concerning the introduction of an amendment to the Constitution of Kenya and other relevant laws on the election of the Deputy Speaker, Deputy President, and Deputy Governors in the Republic of Kenya, and the petition by Muindumbingu Memorial Gelani Association concerning historical injustices suffered by the residents of Ngelani area in Machakos County during the colonial period. The fourth petition by Laban Omusundi concerning the enactment of a clause in the electoral laws that will make sure that all nominated members of county assembly are voters and residents of the respective counties. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, petition by Honorable Simon Lenguya concerning the academic qualifications for election as Speaker of a county assembly, Senate, and the National Assembly. All these reports have been tabled by the committee before the floor of this House. On other activities, Honorable Speaker, over the past 5 months, the committee has hosted and held deliberations with a visiting delegation from the African Court of on Human and People's Rights. We've had breakfast session with the ICJ Kenya chapter to deliberate on legislative gaps and challenges inhibiting access to healthcare services and realization of the right to health. We've hosted and held deliberations with visiting delegations of the counterpart committees from the county assemblies of Vihiga, Nakuru, and Nandi. We have also participated in the launch of the Social Transformation Through Access to Justice 2023-2033 Blueprint and presentation of the State of the Judicial and Administration of Justice Annual Report, that is SOJA, for the year 2022-23. We have held a report writing retreat to consider the draft reports on bills and petitions before the committee, which reports I have reported, Honorable Speaker, have since been tabled. And lastly, we've held a working retreat with the Independent Policing Oversight Authority to deliberate on implementation of the report of the Committee on Extrajudicial Killings and Enforced Disappearances in Kenya. Honorable Speaker, as I conclude, I wish to thank your office for the support accorded to the committee in undertaking its work, and also wish to acknowledge and appreciate the Secretariat for the support and the commitment that they have given to the committee, which in this case, Mr. Speaker, cannot be left unacknowledged. And I therefore acknowledge the office of the clerk for that particular support. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, I would love to appreciate the members of this committee for their industry, for their commitment, and also for their support towards the achievement of the achievements that we have achieved as a committee of this particular House. Honorable Speaker, I thank you, and I table the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Jailak. Next is Chair National Security. Chair Trade.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The statement relating to activities of the Standing Committee on Trade, Industrialization and Tourism, pursuant to Standing Order 56-1B, for the period commencing 1st July to 2023 to 30th November 2023. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order number 56-1B on the standing order to make the statement on the activities of the Standing Committee on Trade, Industrialization and Tourism for the periods commencing 1st July to 30th November 2023. Mr. Speaker, sir, during the period under review, the committee held a total of 45 meetings. Bills considered by the committee, Mr. Speaker, during the period under review, the committee considered the following bills: the County Licensing 2022 Uniform Procedure Bill 2022, Senate Bill number 9 of 2022. The County Licensing Uniform Procedure Bill is sponsored by Senator Mariam Omar, MP. The bill seeks to establish a standing uniforms procedure for licensing by county government. Status: the county committee tabled its reports on 12th April 2023. The bill is now at the committee of the whole stage. B, the startup bill 2022, Senate Bill number 14 of 2022. The startup bill 2022 was read a first time on the 15th February 2023 and is sponsored by Senator Crystal Lasige, MP. It seeks to provide a framework to encourage innovations and incentives the establishment of startups. Status: the committee tabled the report on the in the Senate on the 12th April 2023. The bill is at the Committee of the Whole. Street Vendors Protections and Livelihood Bill, Senate Bill number 41 of 2023. The Street Vendors Bill was read the first time on the Tuesday, 17th October 2023. It is sponsored by Senator Esther Okenyuri, MP. The status, the bill is currently undergoing a public participation at the committee. Petitions. Petition on the fraudulent shareholding activities and illegal acquisitions of East Africa Breweries Limited, EABL. Mr. Speaker, sir, during the period under review, one petition was reported on 30th July 2023 by Senator Wakili Hilary Sigei, MP, on the fraudulent shareholding activities and illegal acquisitions of East Africa Breweries Limited, EABL. The status: the committee has undertaken engagement in the petition by Mr. Nicholas Rono, the Chief Executive Officer, Capital Market Authority, and the Competition Authority of Kenya. The committee has scheduled a meeting with the Commissioner General, Kenya Revenue Authority, on Thursday, which is now today. It was supposed to be today, 2023, to consider the petition. County visits. Mr. Speaker, sir, during the period on February 24th and Saturday 25th November 2023, the committee undertook the inspections visit to Busia and Bungoma counties as follows. Busia and Malaba, one stop border posts to access the state of cross-border trade between Kenya and Uganda, and further inspect the state of the border posts. Visit and engagements at the new Nawesa Industrial Park in Busia County to inspect the implementation status of the county aggregated industrial park. Visit to Kakapel Cultural Center in North Steso in Busia County to assess the visibility of the cultural shrine of the promotions of tourism and cultural heritage. Meeting with the members of the Metropolitan Teacher Circle in Bungoma as a follow-up in the statement that was requested by Senator David Wakoli, MP, on the status of Metropolitan National Circle in Bungoma County. The committee is following up on the submission of the memorandum review in the stakeholders, and the committee also undertook the inspections visit of KNTC warehouses on Thursday, on 30th November 2023, following a statement regarding the productions and importations of cooking oil in Kenya. Statements. Mr. Speaker, sir, during the period under review, the committee considered a total of 31 statements per the schedule attached in the annex herein, which has 10 statements has been concluded, and international travels undertaken by the committee. Mr. Speaker, sir, during the period under review, the committee undertook one international travel following invitation by the Kenya National Chambers of Commerce and Industry to participate in the trade mission to United Arab Emirates on 5th to 11th November 2023 in Dubai as a build-up towards COP28. Priorities, activities for the next quarter. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee will prioritize the following business in the next quarter. The committee to undertake a report writing on the following petition, the petition on the fraudulent shareholding activities and illegal acquisitions of East African Breweries Limited, EABL, the Street Vendors Protections and Livelihood Statement, Bill number 41 of 2023. The committee to undertake an inspections visit to Embu County to engage in the affected Muguka transporters and further hold a workshops in CCMs responsible for trade and county of Mombasa, Nairobi, Garissa, and Embu to review the matter on his access levies charged in Muguka cargo transporters. Following stakeholders' engagement with teachers affected by Metropolitan National SACCO, the committee will schedule to engage with the State Department for Cooperatives, the SACCO Society Regulatory Authority, SASRA, the Teacher Service Commission on the refund on the shares and deposits and withdrawal of teachers for the said SACCO in Bungoma County. The committee is scheduled to meet with the management of Kenya Airways Airport Authority on the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority on the statement requested by Senator Samson Cherargei, Mr. MP, regarding the status of our operations and financial status of the Kenya Airways. The committee to undertake a county visit on access, the implementation and status of the special economic zones and the county integrated industrial parks in the 47 counties. And finally, the committee to undertake a committee initiated inquiries in the activities of Kenya National Trading Corporations in the importations and of essential commodities, edible oil, rice, sugar, and fertilizer during the year of 2023. I thank you, Honorable Speaker, and your office and the secretariats and the members of the committee for enabling us and support for the committee. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I submit.
Thank you, Chair. Next is the chairperson, a standing committee. Oh, kindly table the report, Chair Trade. Chairs, remember to table the reports.
Thank you.
National Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, statement relating to the activities of the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations for the period between 1st of July and 30th November 2023. Mr. Speaker, sir, I arise pursuant to Standing Order 56-1B to make a statement on the activities of the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations for the period commencing 1st of July to 30th November 2023. Mr. Speaker, sir, during the period under review, the committee held a total of 27 sittings, considered 7 legislative proposals, 25 statements, 4 petitions, and 1 resolution from Account Assembly. Further, the committee jointly with the National Assembly's Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security considered a request for approval of deployment of officers of the National Police Service, officers to the Multinational Security Support, MSS, mission for Haiti. The committee also held 2 visits and hosted 1 foreign delegation. Mr. Speaker, in respect of legislative proposals, the committee considered the Fire and Rescue Services Professional Bill 2023, sponsored by Senator Sheikh Mohammed Abbas, MP, and the bill, Mr. Speaker, seeks to establish a regulatory and institutional framework for the fire and rescue services professionals to provide for the registration, licensing, and training of the fire and rescue services professionals. This is aimed at providing uniform standards for the regulation of fire and rescue services professionals across all counties and to set professional standards for all fire and rescue services professionals. The committee recommended that the bill proceed for publication. Mr. Speaker, the committee is also sponsoring the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2023, which seeks to remedy the misinterpretation of functions between the National Service Police Commission and the Inspector General of the National Police Service. The committee is yet to interact with the Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Interior and National Administration, and the Inspector General of Police to receive their views on the bill prior to its publication. The consideration of the Disaster Risk Management Bill 2023, also sponsored by the committee, is ongoing. The committee shall proceed to publish the bill upon completion. In respect of bills, the committee considered the Public Holidays Amendment Bill 2023, sponsored by Senator Karungu Thangwa, MP. The committee conducted public participation on the bill and received one submission from the public. The committee tabled its report on the bill on 22nd of November 2023 and recommended that the bill does not proceed to the next stage in the legislative process. Mr. Speaker, with respect to statements before the committee, a total of 25 statements were sought from the committee during the period under review as annexed to this statement. The committee has received a total of 10 responses of the statements sought, which was shared with the respective senators, and awaits responses from 15 statements from the relevant ministries. Mr. Speaker, with respect to petitions, the committee completed its consideration of the petition concerning the recognition and remuneration of the village elders under the Nyumba Kumi initiative and tabled a report on the same on 31st of October 2023. The committee is currently considering the following petitions. Petition concerning the rampant theft of livestock in Kajiado East and Kajiado West sub-counties and Kajiado County at large. Petition also on the state of insecurity in Turkana County. And thirdly, Mr. Speaker, petition concerning persistent insecurity, cat rustling, loss of lives and property in Loroki and Malaso Division of Samburu County. The committee, Mr. Speaker, has met with the petitioners and is meeting with the various stakeholders, including the Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Interior and National Administration, and the Inspector General of Police, so as to conclude on these petitions. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee is considering a resolution of the County Assembly of Elgeyo Marakwet on measures to curb banditry in Kerio Valley. The committee visited Elgeyo Marakwet County on Friday, 10th of November 2023, and met with the Governor and the County Assembly. The committee is scheduled to meet with the Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Interior, National Administration, and the IG so as to finalize its reports on the resolution. Following a request from the Director of Criminal Investigations, the committee visited the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, DCI, Academy in South Sea, Nairobi, on 23rd November 2023 to assess the current status of the facility with a view to making recommendations for the better use of the facility. The committee awaits the submission of supplementary information from the DCI for completion of its report. Mr. Speaker, during the period under review, the committee, jointly with the National Assembly Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security, considered a request for the approval of the deployment of officers of the National Police Service to the Multinational Security Support MSS mission for Haiti. The committees concluded public participation on the request and met with the Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Interior, and the Inspector General of Police. The committee tabled its report on both houses of Parliament on Wednesday, 15th November 2023, and recommended the approval of the deployment of the officers of the National Police Service to the Multinational Security Support Mission for Haiti. The National Assembly and the Senate both approved the deployment on Thursday, 16th of November 2023. Mr. Speaker, the committee met with the Japanese ambassador to Kenya on Wednesday, 29th November 2023. The committee explored areas of mutual cooperation and sought to strengthen relations between the two countries. A working engagement to foster and strengthen bilateral relations, including the incorporation of senators to a Kenya-Japan parliamentary group and engagement with the counterpart committee of the Japan House of the Councillors is underway. Mr. Speaker, going forward, the committee intends to, 1, meet the Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Interior, National Administration, and the Inspector General to conclude the legislative business pending before the committee. Visit Kajiado County to receive submissions on the petition before the committee, and finally, complete its consideration of committee-sponsored bills for publication. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Chair. Security. Next is the Chairperson, Loans, Transportation and Housing.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 56-1, B, to make a statement on the activities of the Standing Committee on Roads, Transportation and Housing for the period commencing 1st July 2023 to 6th December 2023. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Standing Committee on Roads, Transportation and Housing is established under Standing Order 228-3 of the Senate Standing Orders and is mandated to consider all matters relating to transport, roads, public works, housing, construction, and maintenance of roads, rails, and buildings, seaports, and communication. Mr. Speaker, sir, during the period under consideration, the committee conducted the following business. A, committee meetings. Mr. Speaker, sir, during the period under review, the committee held 21 sittings. Bills. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee considered the Public Transport Motorcycle Regulation Bill 2023 that is sponsored by Senator Dr. Boni Kalwale, MP, and was read the first time in the Senate on Tuesday, 17th October 2023, and thereafter committed to the committee for consideration. The committee, Mr. Speaker, received memoranda on the bill from 5 stakeholders, which it is currently reviewing. C, legislative proposal. The legislative proposal on the Street Naming and Property Addressing System Bill 2023 that is sponsored by Senator Fatuma Dulo, CBS MP, was referred to the committee for scrutiny on 27th November 2023. The committee is scheduled to consider it on Thursday, which was supposed to happen today, Mr. Speaker, 7th December 2023, but owing to the fact that we are here seated today, we carry it forward to the next meeting. Petitions. Mr. Speaker, sir, 3 petitions have so far been referred to the committee as follows. Petition concerning public transport in Lake Victoria between Fangano Island in Suba Central, Sub-County, and Mbita, Homa Bay County. The petition concerning public transport in Lake Victoria between Fangano Island in Suba Central Sub-County and Mbita, Homa Bay County, was presented to the Senate on 18th October 2022 by Senator Moses Kajwang, MP, and committed to the committee. The committee met with the petitioners, the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Roads and Transport, and Kenya Ports Authority. Mr. Speaker, as we speak, the ferry is under construction and the ministry has given part of the money for that work. The only thing remaining for the committee, Mr. Speaker, is to visit the Mfangano Island and thereafter draft the report for submission in this House. Petition concerning eviction and demolition of Buxton Estate, Mvita constituency. Mr. Speaker, this petition was presented on 1st March 2023. The committee considered the petition and invited several stakeholders and tabled its report on the petition on 2nd November 2023, meaning this matter was concluded, Mr. Speaker. Number 3, petition concerning title deeds for properties bought at Jamii Bora Estate, Kisaju, Kajiado County. Mr. Speaker, this petition was committed to the committee on 14th March 2023. The petitioners bought houses and shops on an off-plan housing scheme from Jamii Bora Charitable Trust, but have never been issued with title deeds to house built in Jamii Bora Estate since the year 2008 to date. The petitioners, therefore, sought the intervention of the Senate to have them issued with the title deeds for their properties. The committee met and received submissions from the petitioners, Kajiado County Government, Business Registration Services, State Department for Lands and Physical Planning, and Kingdom Bank. Mr. Speaker, we are yet to conclude on that issue, but we are almost. The 4th petition, Mr. Speaker, petition concerning construction of a pedestrian bridge at Chiromo. Mr. Speaker, the committee considered the petition and tabled its report on the petition on 31st October 2023, meaning that matter has been concluded. Statements. Mr. Speaker, sir, during the period under review, 51 statements were referred to the committee for consideration, out of which 4 statements were considered and concluded. In addition, during the period, 11 statements were considered but not concluded because the committee sought supplementary information. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee further sought responses of the 36 statements from the government agencies. Some of the responses have been received but not considered, and other responses are yet to be received. Inquiries. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee is undertaking an inquiry into the urban regeneration and renewal program of the county government of Nairobi, which intends to demolish 13 estates, majority of which are in Eastlands area, Nairobi County, and redevelop the estates under the affordable housing program. The committee is concerned with the manner in which the county government of Nairobi is undertaking the program without carrying out meaningful participation by the residents of the targeted estates and the issuance of threats to the officials of the estates, residents associations who have raised issues with the manner in which the program was being carried out. It is more concerning that despite numerous invitations of the governor of Nairobi County to apprise the committee on the program, he has consistently failed to honor the invitations, giving insufficient reason for his non-appearance. The committee will continue to pursue the matter to its conclusion. Again, Mr. Speaker, we were to meet today, but owing to the fact that we are here, we have deferred that meeting to the next sitting. Messages. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee received a message for consideration jointly with the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources. The message was from the County Assembly of Nyandarua regarding a resolution by the County Assembly to petition the Senate to consult with and initiate approval of the National Environmental Management Authority, NEMA, the Kenya National Highways Authority, KENHA, the Kenya Forest Service, KFS, and the Kenya Wildlife Service, KWS, on the Ihithe Aberdare Forest Kahuroko Donyonjeru Road construction and tamaking project. The Joint Committee awaits the outcome of the report on comments on the environmental impact assessment and environmental social impact assessment study in the proposed construction of the road. Madam Speaker, stakeholders engagement. The committee attention was drawn to the high number of road accidents that claimed over 4,500 deaths in the year 2022. As a result, the committee engaged stakeholders, both from the public and the private sector, that are in road safety in an effort to forge a common plan of action that will help reduce the high number of road fatalities. The engagement with more stakeholders will continue in the next reporting period. Finally, Madam Speaker, parliamentary diplomacy. Madam Speaker, sir, the committee held engagement talks with the Ambassador of Japan, His Excellency Okaniwa Ken, on a number of infrastructural development projects that the government of Japan is financing through the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA. The committee also inspected a Japan-funded community road empowerment core project, which has improved a 26-kilometer rural access road in Meru County using a technology called Do-No. Such low-cost and labor-intensive road projects provide opportunities for county governments to effectively maintain the over 120,000 kilometers of county government roads. Challenges. Madam Speaker, the non-appearance of witnesses when invited delay the operation of the committee in consideration of other business. The committee has had to issue summons for appearance of some governors. Madam Speaker, I take this opportunity to thank you, the Speaker, the Secretariat, my fellow senator, for making it possible for the committee to execute its mandate. Yours, Senator Karungo Wathangwa, Chairman, Roads, Transportation, and Housing. Thank you.
The Chairperson, Select Committee on County Public Accounts Committee. Senator Cherarke.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. This is statement relating to the activities of the Senate County Public Accounts Committee, pursuant to Standing Order 56(1)B. Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, during our deliberation, we noticed that there is a challenges of filling in the internal audit committees in counties, where they play a crucial role in effective of governance and risk management, such as internal control, risk management. Madam Speaker, this, however, the challenge of attracting qualified individuals to serve in internal audit committees persist, mainly due to the often lower salaries offered as prescribed by SRC. To address this issue, SRC may need to reconsider their compensation with structures and offer competitive remuneration to ensure our internal committees, Madam Speaker, are able to function. Madam Speaker, during the interrogation of the various county entities during this period, the committee noted that most entities failed to disclose their contingent liabilities in the financial statements. County governments do not need to recognize a contingent liability, but it should disclose details of any contingencies, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the committee also observed that most of the county entities have incurred huge legal fees, and they include the county executive of Uasin Gishu, Machakos, Nairobi City County, and the Machakos County Assembly, running into billions, contracted lawyers and their firms as legal fees. The committee has observed that some of the county entities are deliberately not utilizing the office of the county attorney, which was instrumental in passing in the last session, and that is why they like outsourcing legal services. Additionally, the committee observed that counties have failed to explore alternative dispute resolution to try and resolve and to save billions. Madam Speaker, the committee continues, and it is a concern in the high interest in the unhealthy size and growth of wage bills in many of the counties. In the last quarter of the committee wrote to 7 counties to explain the measures they have taken to reduce the wage bill to recommended 35%. Threshold and plans to write and invite more county executives during the third session to deliberate on the issue in a bid to ensure fiscal prudence. Madam Speaker, the issue of wage bill in counties, almost all of them are violated. Madam Speaker, the committee undertook a county visit through Senate Mashinani. For example, in Turkana, and it is notable, to county headquarters, governors, official residents, Lodwar Fire Station, speakers, residents, and the new Turkana County Assembly Chamber. Madam Speaker, the committee observed the county head governors and other residents that we visited had either stalled or taken too long to complete. Full payments on projects and contractors were not on site. The committee directed the EACC to take interest on the projects, especially in Turkana County. Further, the controller of budget to also question and scrutinize requisition relating to the highlighted projects in Turkana County. Madam Speaker, adopted report of the finance and budget on the county government's infrastructure projects comprising county executive headquarters, offices, assembly chambers and offices, and county state offices, residents that cap the costs of constructing the governor's residences at 45 million and speaker's residence at a cost of 35 million. However, the committee observed that most of the counties had already awarded contracts that had gone beyond this sum. We have therefore directed the controller of budget to stop release of funds meant for reconstruction, because the governor's residence should cost a maximum of 45 million and speaker's residence at 35 million. Madam Speaker, there's 9 points. The committee observed there was rampant voiding of payments by county governments. The approved cash plans by controller of budget are not adhered to, contrary to Section 22 of the COB Act 2016. The committee recommends the COB to institute mechanisms to enforce compliance of approved cash plans by counties. Further, the committee recommends that the Senate Delegated Legislation Committee fast-tracks the consideration and adoption of controller of budget regulations for better carrying out and giving effect to any provision of the Act. Madam Speaker, the committee has met and interrogated many county assemblies. However, most of the county assemblies are still coupling with poor asset management. Majority of county assemblies do not possess titles to the land on which assemblies sit. The committee has since been informed that it has been established by Intergovernmental Budget and Economic Council, IBEC, to validate assets and liabilities inherited from defunct and local authorities, and expected to report back between January and March 2024. And when the report is ready, we shall bring it. Madam Speaker, point number 11, the Senate, through the county allocation revenue, has over years increased budgetary ceilings to county assemblies, way above the recommended 7% threshold under the PMF Act 2012. In some cases, assemblies have received as much as 16% of the county revenue, for example, Kirinyaga, while on the other hand, assemblies still receive less than 7%, for example, Mombasa. Madam Speaker, the committee also fast-tracking of legislative and administrative measures, county assembly financial autonomy, and I know that amendment has been read, the first reading, so that we can give most of the county assemblies financial autonomy in their work. Madam Speaker, point number 12, and it's of concern of the country, is pending bills continue to be a big problems. Madam Speaker, first quarter of the third session, the committee shall convene a meeting with Auditor of General Office, Controller of Budget, Council of Governors, National Treasury, and EACC to define actionable measures to ensure integrity and completeness of accounts payable across the counties, which continue, and pending bills continue to affect most of the counties. Madam Speaker, point number 13, during the interrogation of OAG reports, we noticed non-remittance of pension deductions to the relevant pension schemes. And therefore, the total outstanding pension liabilities accrued as submitted by the COB indicates a total of whopping 85 billion as at 31st March that has not been remitted to the relevant pension schemes. Point number 14, Madam Speaker, on human resource issues affecting 47 counties, the committee observed that the Secretary to the County Public Service Board, by qualification, must be a certified secretary and not certified human resource practitioner. The committee observed there is a lacuna in law. The committee noted where there are strict requirements in management of financial resources in the counties, there is a leisurely approach in managing human resources. It was observed that the qualification requirement for those responsible for managing human resources were not strangely spelled out compared to those managerial financial resources. And therefore, Madam Speaker, we shall bring an amendment to that. Finally, in conclusion, I wish to thank the members of the committee, the members of the committee and the dedicated secretariat and your office, Madam Speaker, for the support and dedicated who usually sit for long hours. Madam Speaker, this is one of the committees you can sit the whole day, running with numbers, grappling with numbers, and therefore we are working hard to reduce the backlog of audit reports. The committee will use various strategies, including subcommittees in county assemblies, merger of financial years, to shift to a more proactive mandate and to ensure the Senate in concurrent its intervention. And I want to call upon members of this House to be always, when the reports of various counties are brought for adoption, to look at it and debate and give suggestions to how we can improve the work of County Public Accounts Committee. Madam Speaker, with those very many remarks, allow me to table the report of this committee. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Do we have any representative for the Chairperson, Select Committee on Public Investments and Special Funds Committee? That statement is deferred. Any person for the Chairperson, Select Committee on Delegated Legislation? That statement is deferred. We now move on to two statements by the Senator for Lamu, Senator Kamau. Senator Sige.
Thank you, Speaker. Just wanted to clarify, Speaker, if we will be able to have a chance to comment on the statements read, the reports made by the chairs of the different committees.
Because of time, it may not be possible. So I don't think we will have that time.
Chair, thank you. Speaker, thank you for that. Though there is a real burning issue that I have on the report by JLAC committee, and I wish to table it, Chair, as this is the last session for the year.
I have already ruled, Senator Hasige. Thank you.
No, but we've not been given time to speak on the reports. We've been waiting.
Senator Lamu, please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53(1).